Hi, this is Dr. David Pulley, the relationship doctor, and I wanted to speak to you all tonight about the topic of soulmates. This topic is the one that I researched and studied in my dissertation and looked at because I believe in it and I think that it's a very relevant topic. And it's one that a lot of people think about, talk about, but don't have a lot of answers for. The topic of soulmates is a very intriguing one. Most people are out here trying to find exactly what that is. So I wanted to provide my personal theoretical definition of what a soulmate is. When I looked at it in my dissertation titled Where Art Thou? A Phenomenological Study on the Belief in Soulmates and How People Perceive that it affected their relationship choices. In this dissertation, I looked at people's understanding conceptualizations of what a soulmate was. And one thing that I tended to find was that most people believe that you have multiple soulmates. In my personal theory, this is not true. This is not true. The idea of the soulmate is one and only one. To believe in multiple soulmates would be almost a cop out. In fact, the reason why most people, or many people, apparently do not believe in soulmates is because they cannot wrap their mind around the idea that there could be only one person that they're meant to be with. Now, this idea of soulmate is for those who are not faint of heart, for those who are not feeble minded. Not that anybody who doesn't believe in them are those things, but more so the fact that it takes the belief in something beyond what can be proven and seen physically in order to understand it. The concept of a soulmate is exactly that, a person's soul's mate. So to be discussing it, you have to believe in something that's beyond the physical realm, beyond the five senses of hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, and seeing. Because a soul you cannot do any of those things with. A soul is intangible. It is not physical. It is of the spirit realm. And therefore, to talk about it, know about it, understand it, discuss it, you have to have a knowledge of that realm, that world. So therefore, trying to understand the concept of soulmate through the confines and constructs of the worldly physical five senses would be ludicrous. You would not be able to understand it in those terms. So what am I getting at? What is the definition and concept of a soulmate? A soulmate, according to me, is exactly this. It is the person who God created especially for you, who is best equipped to help you find and fulfill your purpose in life. Although this is a complex definition, it's actually quite simple. Your soulmate is your soul's mate. Your soul comes from a spiritual place, not anything physical. Therefore, your soulmate is something that's beyond body, beyond brain, beyond anything tangible. It is a person who is created from something that most people do not believe in or attend to. Cognitive psychology says you cannot perceive 100% of the things that you do not attend to, which means if you're not paying attention, if you do not think about things, if you're not looking, you won't have a perception of what may be going on in an area that you're not looking at. Science basically says that, or to put that definition in another way, I cannot perceive anything that I did not pay attention to, I did not look at. So if something right now was happening behind me, without this camera, without a mirror, I wouldn't be able to see it. I do not have eyes in the back of my head. However, there is a way for me to perceive it through something called the sixth sense. These are all things of the spirit. The sixth sense is beyond the five: hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, and seeing. So if there's a sixth sense, then there's something that the sixth sense can perceive. So again, stopping there and not going too much further, I will say again, my definition of a soulmate is this: the person who God made especially for you, who is best equipped to help you both find and fulfill your purpose in life. Again, this is Dr. David Pulley, the Relationship Doctor, talking on soulmates. Have a good night.